Hey guys, hope you're doing good. So, like always, I have another banger for y'all. But today, I generally have a banger for y'all. Like, if you can listen to a single video, like if you were to pick, like, hey, out of all the videos that you've made, Serge, which would be the most important video to watch? I generally say that it's this video that you're watching right now, okay? But before I get into this video, I wanna say that on my Instagram, on my last post, I made this post here, right? Where if you go and comment on the post and follow the 3 steps that are on that post, I'll send you the 1-hour training that I did going over the 5 steps process we use to make it invisible for agencies and high-ticket online service businesses, not to add an extra $500,000 to even 7 figures a year in new annual recurring revenue if you're a service provider, okay? I went over the best scaling and appointment setting workflows that we've tested in 35 different niches. I even said that you should look up a tax specialist in your area because after watching the video, after watching the training, you're gonna need one for your next year's tax bill, right? It's really in depth. I went over our 2-phase system, how we actually scale people in our own program. I literally gave everyone everything we do for our clients, right? Like, hey, how we go about improving their offers, how we start by building their outbound campaigns, how we go around training their setters, how we go about building their cold email system, right? Something that can be scaled from either a few hundred emails per day to up to 10,000 emails per day. I went over how we solve for inbound acquisition, right? A lot of people think that we're just good at appointment setting through outbound prospecting, but in the last few months, every single client of ours have generally been pushing content and growing their brand, right? Not many people will tell you to grow a brand when you're an agency owner who's making just 10K a month. But from the growth that I've personally seen, I've realized that the earlier you start, the better you're going to be. Because if I started my YouTube channel in 2020, I would genuinely be making $1 million every single month without needing any advertising. I think right now we just collected, I think in the first 5 days of the month, we collected over 100 grand and $0 on ad spend, right? So, and I started my YouTube channel maybe like a year ago, right? So I'm like, wow, if I can help anyone in the e-commerce niche, helping brands, if I can help clients who are targeting local businesses, if I can help people helping coaches build brands, and you mix that branding with our outbound skill set, I'll be like, oh my God, like it's impossible for me not to make you millions of dollars every single year, right? So we went over that, and I also finished by going over how we optimize and extract the most value from the system, okay, over time, over the 5 months, how we go about it. So yeah, if you want to receive the training, go on my Instagram, it's Serge Gatari. Follow me, of course. At times I like to sing, I like to perform for my followers. But maybe you're not as confident as me, so you might find it cringe, but it's okay. You'll get to love it, okay? You'll learn to love it. That's what I meant to say, okay? Okay, cool. Now let's get into the real sauce here, okay? So the thing that I want to talk about today is, what I call pre-mortems, right? For those who don't know, I'll actually Google the word pre-mortem, what it means. So on Google a pre-mortem is a managerial strategy in which a project team imagines that a project or our organization has failed, right? And then works backwards to determine what potentially could lead to the failure of the project or organization, okay? This is the most important insight that you can pay attention to if you're a business owner, right? See, the mistake with a lot of people is they'll be like, hey, I want to start booking 10 sales calls a week. I want to start making 10 grand a week, or I want to start making 100 grand a month, right? And then they'll start writing down all the things they need to do to get there. Okay, that's cool. That's a given. Because I can tell you this, every single person who has a goal, every single human who has a goal knows how to get there. But guess what? They still don't get what they set out to achieve. Why? Right? The reason why they're not able to achieve it, from my last video, I said that it's because they can't make decisions, but actually the thing is because they don't even know what could kill them or what could keep them from not achieving the goal, right? So I think Charlie Munger talks about this inversion process, but to be honest, I think pre-mortems are even better, okay? So let me tell you how I personally apply it. So essentially the definition is you imagine a project or you not achieving your goal, okay? So let's say you want to make 100 grand a month, okay? And then you imagine what hey, it's a year from now and you haven't hit your goal of making 100 grand a month, right? What went wrong? Okay. So instead of thinking like, hey, I want to make 100 grand a month, what should I do to get there? Instead, you picture yourself in the future and you ask yourself, hey, what went wrong? And then you figure out a list of all the things that went wrong. And then you build mechanisms, you hire people, you build systems to mitigate the risk, to remove every single obstacle that would keep you from not getting to 100K per month. I can genuinely say that in 2020, I made 12 grand from Intego Media. That was my first agency. In 2021, my revenue was around 450K. This year, we're about to do, I think we're gonna do over $2 million, right? Now, doesn't mean that I didn't have things that could deter me from like not achieving my goals. I had a bunch of them, right? But why did I consistently grow my business, as fast as we're currently doing it? Because I never set out to, each goal that I set is not a goal that, like, I'm not just excited by the goal. I spend most of my time figuring out how I would keep myself from not achieving the goal than I spend on how to achieve the goal. Because I know that every single person wants to make the kind of money that I'm making, but they never do it. So why would I have the same strategy as them when it comes to me taking action, right? So how do I implement this pre-mortem thing? Every single quarter, I get on a 2-hour call with my team. Okay, by the way, I first heard of this pre-mortem from this woman called Annie Duke. She wrote a few books, I think Thinking in Bets. I haven't read her book, but guys, I don't read books. I listen to podcasts, I get my nuggets, and then I implement. I don't need to read a 300-page to get to know pre-mortem. You know what I mean? Like, I just need someone to just give me condense the knowledge into just a single banger. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing for you guys, okay? So let me tell you how I do it, okay? So actually, I'll tell you what I did this past quarter, right? So this past quarter what is it? When did the second quarter end? I think is when the third quarter ended. I think it was, right? So our goal is to make $250,000, right? And like I just said, I think if I go on Stripe right now, let me look at how much we've collected on Stripe, just to tell you guys that this actually works. So from November 1st to November 8th on Stripe, we have 122 grand, okay? In the last 5 months, I've been wanting to scale client acquisition that I owe to $250,000 per month, and I couldn't really get myself to achieve it, right? So anyway, so the Q2, Q3, right? Q2, I think that's when we first had our pre-mortem on how could we fail to getting to 250K per month, right? And a few of the things that we made a list of are the following, right? One is not enough people actually know about me, right? So as an example, for those who don't know, in order for you to make money, you need attention. Because I think Grant Cardone, and that today actually was thinking about this, and it's starting to become even more like you understand things better when you're actually winning or when you actually go through the process, right? Grant Cardone has always said money follows attention, but from the perspective of someone who was broke, I just couldn't understand what he was. I mean, I could understand what he meant, but I didn't really understand it, right? Now that I'm leveraging attention to really make money, I'm like, wow, it actually is true that money follows attention. So what have I done in that pre-mortem? I was like, hey, if we don't get enough attention, even if we are the best at outbound prospecting, we will never make the kind of money that we're aiming to achieve, to make, right? Which was $250,000. $250,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Like guys, like just 2 months ago, if you told me like I would be making $250,000 every 2 weeks, I'd be like, what are you talking about, right? It's a lot of money, right? So anyway, in the pre-mortem, what I did is I make a goal and I sit with my team and I'm like, okay, for the sales side of things, what could keep us from not achieving $250,000, right? Let's imagine we failed and it was because of the sales team. And then we come up with a list of obstacles, okay? And then I go to fulfillment and I'm like, hey, Hassam, Reg, Bell, we failed to get to $250,000. What did you guys do to actually keep us from not getting to our goal? And then we come up with a list of ideas that actually, or no, not ideas, but a list of things that happened. Again, a pre-mortem is you picture yourself in the future and you've already failed. You failed, okay? And then you ask yourself, hey, why? What happened? Why did we fail? And then you come up with a list. So what I do is I do a pre-mortem for every single department. I don't just do it for myself as a leader. I do it for every single department, okay? Marketing, I'm the marketer. We have the outbound team, we have the growth team too. So that's the marketing. So I'll ask myself, hey Serge, you failed to get to $250,000. What did you do or what did you not do that actually kept us from not achieving the goal? Oh, I didn't release enough bangers on YouTube. Okay, cool, perfect. Let me be more disciplined to releasing bangers on YouTube, okay? The growth team wasn't consistent in doing 500 to 1,000 outreach per day. Okay, cool, perfect. Let's make sure we never not do 1,000 outreach per day, okay? And then another thing is finance, right? So I'll be like, hey, the issue is because we weren't, let's say, profitable enough to be able to invest in the business, right? Or I didn't allocate capital in a manner where we can actually, have a bigger ROI on the money we already have. Or I actually just kept the funds in the bank account doing nothing, right? I didn't invest in advertising, right? Which is why I'm actually still wanting to reinvest in advertising on YouTube ads, because it's cool for me to have, $500,000 or $1 million in the bank, but that's actually being pretty stupid, right? Because again, money follows attention. So if you can invest money to get the attention to make more money on your investment, then you should do it. Because again, the currency is not money. The currency is attention. Anyone who has 100,000 views, 1 million views every single month is way wealthier than someone who has $1 million in their bank account, right? So for me, that's what I did. So Q2, Q3, I did 2 pre-mortems and I figured out what could keep us from not winning. And I guess we've done a great job because now we're definitely hitting our goals. Right now, the next pre-mortem that I'm going to be doing at the end of this Q4 is, hey, we failed to get to $1 million per month. What kept us from getting there, right? So I like to do this quarterly. I like to figure out what could kill me so that I can stay away from the thing that can kill me. So if you're currently running a business and you're not really where you need to be, instead of trying to figure out like, hey Serge, what should I do to get to my goal? There's so many ways to actually make money to grow your business so that you're actually going to be confused when it comes to implementing. So what I suggest is make a list of the things that could keep you from not achieving your goals. Those things are, yes, they're going to be plenty, but there will only be 3 big things that are a lot that have a bigger probability of happening. Once you find those 3 things, just focus on them. Focus on the 3 big things that could keep you from not achieving your goals, and build systems, hire people, join programs, join my program, all right? And solve your big things, big problems before they actually occur, okay? A lot of people never grow their business because they just make decisions from their current, from the present, right? But the truth is, your current state is not going to get you to your next level, right? So your next level requires you to be in a different state in the present in order to produce different outcomes in the future, right? So I think pre-mortems should be a practice that is like literally like habitual. Like it's not oh, you do it once when you see this video. No. If you have to do, tat it on your arm, do it, right? But it applies in every area of your life. Relationships, right? Instead of trying to figure out like, hey, how can I get this girl? Figure out how can you not get this girl? By being weird, by not being, presentable, right? By not making fuck you money, right? How do you think the girl is gonna choose you when you can't take care of her babies? You know what I mean? Or your kids, right? How do you think she's gonna, wanna bear your children when you can't even make bangers, right? So you gotta figure out, hey, how can I lose first before trying to figure out how can you win, right? Oh, you wanna start working out? Cool. Figure out you wanna be in shape? Cool. Figure out how can you not be in shape, right? By eating stupid food, junk food, by not getting your sleep in, and by not getting enough, nutrients, right? Get enough nutrients, get enough sleep, and actually work out consistently and stop eating junk food, and you'll be in shape inevitably, right? You want to make $1 million per month? How can you not make $1 million per month? Oh, nobody knows you. Oh, okay, cool. That would probably keep us from not making money. If no one knows us, how are we going to make money? Because the money we want is from other people, right? So rule number 1. Get attention. Get out of obscurity. I can't tell you guys enough. Obscurity is the biggest enemy of any business. Get known. Get fucking known. I cannot tell you how much actually this thing is so important to me. Get known, guys. Get known. Get out of this private victory bullshit. I know it's private victory, blah, blah, blah. I know Iman pushes it, but Iman has 1 million subscribers on YouTube, guys. I don't know what private means, but if 1 million people knows you guys, that's why a lot of people look up to him. That's why I think he's probably one of the goats of this industry, because he's figured out this attention play, right? So just forget about privacy. How can you not get to 1 million per month if you're not good at converting, right? Converting the attention into money. How are you gonna convert attention into money? Well, you can use ads, but you inevitably need people to build the systems and to have conversations with these hundreds, thousands of people who are coming into your audience every day, right? I'm sure you're watching this video, and I can probably say that if you opt in into anything on my team, into any of the things that I release for free, you're gonna get daily emails from me. You're gonna get a message from me. You're gonna get a message from a growth specialist. Why? Because I know that if I don't have people converting your attention into being more aware of that, how we can solve your problem, then I'm never gonna be able to have a transaction with you, right? So I figured out how I would lose, and I build teams and next systems to make sure that I never lose, guys. Like, I know a lot of people will make success as if it's a big, huge task. Like, hey, it's magic, I'm special. No, I'm not special. I've just done my homework. I know how I can fail, so I never fail. But guys, this is a long video. I didn't plan on making it this long, but guys, pre-mortems, figure out how to lose first. Figure out how to lose. Maybe you're already losing. If you're already losing, then you probably already know how to avoid losing. Stop being you. Stop a lot of the stuff you're doing, right? If you're spending your days watching porn and just releasing your semen, then stop the bullshit, right? If you spend your days on TikTok just watching girls, just shake their butts, stop the bullshit, right? If you have your team of trained setters, but you don't get on a call with them every day to motivate them, to train them, to motivate them to do the right things, to hit the KPIs, to hit the metrics, to give them a little bump in their pay so they are incentivized, then what are you doing, right? If you're a loser right now, if you are a loser, sit down and draw out your life, your health, your motivation, your aspirations, the people you look up to, the discipline, the daily activities, and literally put it in a garbage can and close it and design the character that is completely the opposite of who you've been in your life. That's how you win, right? Because people think you can just keep making the same decisions or you can keep the same fears, you can keep the same decision-making process pattern that has kept you in this hole of just not being the person that you can become. And you think that you're gonna stay the same but get a different outcome. That's insanity, right? We all know that. So my advice to you is, for any goal that you have, figure out how to lose first before you focus on how to win. Make a list on all the paths that could lead you to failure, and literally get rid of it ever being a possibility for you to fail. And guess what's left? Success. So that's it. Go comment on my latest Instagram post. I'll send you the training that I did on how to scale and add an extra 500K to 1 million a year. And see you on the other side. I love you guys like always. And again, I'm trying to do 1 million a month, so you can expect a lot of these bangers forever. Promise you. Bye-bye.